be dangerous against those High Templars once he eventually gets those. He has the Psionic Storm finish. He's now going the Codrion Amulet, however the hell you pronounce that. We have all these Zerglings coming in again for harassment. The Mutalisk in there gets one Mutalisk down. The Zerglings all taken out, and you see the expansion was actually being harassed there. So again, the Blink though, just such an effective ability as we keep seeing time and time again now throughout this game. So that's huge for them. Look at the Zealot army coming in here, stopping this gold expansion. He's saying, nope, no soup for you, fool. He's going to take out this expansion, but here comes the army now for the Hellborn. Wow, the Hellborn team, lol. This isn't Heroes of New Earth. This is StarCraft 2 for the Zerg team, and now a lot of Roaches, a lot of Hydralisks. Does he have any High Templars? He does not have High Templars yet, so this could be dangerous right now for the Protoss team right here. The Roaches are out in front. All the Zealots are a good chunk of them. Yes, all of them actually were taken out right there. And we have 19 Stalkers though. For Saki here, but he needs to fall back definitely, and now he needs to get those High Templars out, because without those, obviously, in fact, no, he's morphing in more Zealots. A little bit surprising there. I figured he would. Oh, he just doesn't have enough gas. That's what it is at this point. He does not have enough gas, unfortunately, so he's not able to really get those High Templars. Here comes the army. Good spread right there. There he does have one High Templar, though, getting out the Psionic Storm. Only one, though, not greatly effective, but it was able to do enough damage. Again, the Blink right on top of the Hydralisk, getting a good chunk of kills here, but he is losing quite a bit himself. He's dropping from 19 to 11 Stalkers now. Here come more Zealots, though. Here comes the random Zerglings coming in, being like, nom, 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 nom. Of course, they're not going to do much, though, coming in by themselves at the very end, but the gold expansion was able to be put up, as we can see, and he is already starting to get farm out of it. So he saved the gold expansion, and he's now starting to get some farm. So again, very, very good play. That fight definitely won right there by Mardo. I mean, things were looking good there for Saki, but unfortunately, just a very quick reaction by Mardo, especially using those Hydralisks and Roaches, and able to fend it off and almost make a turnaround. But here comes more High Templars. He has 3 in total from the looks of it. Now 4 in total. He just poured in another one. Here comes the Stalkers leading the way. But again, they need to be careful. There is an army here of Hydralisks and Stalkers once again. Or Roaches, excuse me. So going for a basic army himself, he picks out the Zealot who... Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go around the backside. He was a retarded Zealot right there. There's a nice Psionic Storm on the left side of the group. There's one on the right side, and a lot of pressure being put out once again. That's what makes it so effective. The Zealots going in the front lines. They get taken out. The great microwing right here by Mardo, and he's pushing up very aggressively right on top of Saki's units right here. The Psionic Storms were already used, but unfortunately not enough to kill them all. As you can see, it's a lot of the units low right there, but just not enough for a lot of kills, and unfortunately, another turnaround right there on Saki. So again, he loses a lot of Stalkers, down to 5 Stalkers in total. Just 2 High Templars, and the army big time advantage in favor of Mardo once again. So Saki has a lot of work to do. I am a little bit surprised Mardo is not pushing right here. You figure with the army he has built up, and with Saki with so few units, again, obviously as a spectator it's a little bit easier for us to tell what's going on, but you figure with them winning that fight so aggressively right there, you know, you feel pretty confident right now and looking to push and finish this. But yeah, by the way, a 3rd expansion has been put up by Saki, so he's able to get that out. In the meantime, though, that gold expansion is working out very well for Mardo, of course. You see his gold. He currently has 1,300 gold saved up. Not too often you see these high-tier players get up that type of amount of gold, but when he has 3 expansions, one of them being a gold expansion, yeah, can't be too surprised there, I guess. But we do have the Roach army falling back. The infestation is what I'm going to call them. And 2 more... No, that's not an expansion. I was about to say 2 more expansions going up. Holy crap. He's actually putting his... He's pooping on the ground right there, marking his territory. We have the probe scouting things out, but now he's going to see what's going on. He's like, ew, that's gross. I don't want to go in there. And he's going to fall back, of course. So the army, once again, getting bigger and bigger for the Protoss team. Again, I am kind of shocked right here that Mardo has chosen not to push and play aggressively. At this point, he had such a huge number advantage there. But the army, once again, is built right back up, going for Immortals. Very, very good unit choice here for Saki, of course. Excellent against those Hydralisks and Roaches, for that matter. And we do have the gold expansion now going up for Saki. He is going to be spotted, though, by these Zerglings, so we'll see what he can do against them. The Zerglings immediately being chased back. Obviously, they're not going to be able... Well, these 2 will live, at least. They're like, yay, we're going to get away! The Protoss, though, picking them off. But, of course, now with it being seen, that's might be unfortunate in that sense. We'd have more Zealots being ported in, though. So he's continuing to build these Zealots to try to keep the harassment up in that sense as well. Let's see how many High Templars... He has 8 High Templars total, so... Expect a lot of Psionic Storm spam. We have Roaches going underground right here. I do not see any. There's the Observer. I was going to say, ooh, this might be troublesome, but he does get the Observer out, and these Roaches are going to run right into death right. You know, they are going to turn around. They come out of the burrow. They keep going back and forth. Great micromanagement once again, kind of spreading them out now, trying to stay less vulnerable to those Psionic Storms. Instead of going clumping up sideways, he's trying to clump up, you know, length or the top to bottom, if anything. So obviously, that wouldn't make the Sonic Storm nearly as effective. Actually, I don't even know if that makes sense. If it's a square, then that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm just trying to act smart right now. Anyways, we have the Protoss team. They are falling back though. Again, and I can't blame it. At this point, he just wants to try to get his army built up to the point where he can actually overwhelm this Zerg player, because frankly, the Zerg player, Mardo, he's allowed Saki to come right back into this game by not effectively pushing early on. So Mardo, you see him still marking his territory at these places. This Overlord though might want to finish up pooping because he's going to be dying right here. There he goes, explodes into thin air. But here comes a huge army. We're going to have a pretty epic fight right here. A lot of roaches coming in. The Hydralisk on the backside taking on. There's just one Sonic Storm to start things off. But look at the spread once again. He sends a pack of roaches out in front and spreading out everyone else. Sonic Storm's going in from behind. Not the most effective use, but now we have those fields being put up by the sentries. And now trying to make the pushback is the Protoss team. They're taking out a couple of Zerglings at the base who are actually picking off. And they actually pick off the Nexus. Very good pickoff right there for the Zerg players. Excuse me. Sorry, a lot of talking. Anyways, very good pickoff right there for the Zerg players with that Nexus and slowing down the gold farm. But they do fall back in the end, fall back to where it's safe on their territory. Obviously, they get a little bit of regen going. The Queen kind of lost right there, not sure what she was doing. Another Sonic Storm's coming out, but here comes from the backside. The roaches from the backside trying to cut them off. Clump them in is not enough to actually clump them in there. Another force field coming out. There's two more. The Sonic Storm's now coming up on top of these Hydralisks. Got great placement right there. The Hydralisk very low in life now, and a good spread by the Zerg player, but again, great Sonic Storms from this Protoss player in Saki. He's now taking out the left side creeps, but here comes from the backside once again. The Hydralisk coming in. Not much life on them though. No more Sonic Storms just yet. Waiting for the regen. In fact, I don't even know. He doesn't even have any more High Templars. They all got picked off, but the Zerg army dropping fast as well. Those Immortals just so powerful, getting so many kills. You look at the kill count on them, 9-7. We have a Disciple in there. We have a couple of Mentors, and it looks like the Protoss army is going to survive, and the Zerg army is going to have to rebuild at this point. So both teams really winning a strong fight here in this match. I can't blame the Protoss player for not pushing nearly as much at this point. Well, honestly, maybe I could. Well, at this point, again, he has the build going for him. Those Immortals are obviously the more effective units in these team fights, and as long as he can get it, several more out, maybe a total of 10 to 12, he's definitely looking pretty good in that sense. Whereas this Zerg player, he's pretty much committed to this build, so that's definitely one of the downfalls of doing something like this. But he's going to try to make the best of the situation and see what he can make happen. But obviously, the Protoss player, with that said, he definitely wants to try to end this sooner than later and not allow this Zerg player in Mardo to change up his strategy to try to counter those Immortals with perhaps some air units, more air units. We do have a lot of harassment over here happening. The Sonic Storm's going off onto several Zerglings, but the Zerglings actually picking off a good amount of the Protoss units. But in the end, of course, those Zergling units going down right there. We finally have the Nexus coming back up, by the way, so good rebuild by Saki once again. And, of course, those gold minerals, very, very effective. They are gold, obviously. Gold! And the hatchery going back out for the Zerg, so both teams trying to get this gold expansion up once again. So you'll just look at the expansions all over the place, really, for both teams. Our Protoss really keeping up with the Zerg. So, obviously, really, really good news for him. We have the Ultralisk, though, now for this Zerg player. That's pretty dangerous here for the Protoss player, for Saki. But Ultralisk not as effective, of course, unless they're really masked, and he does have 2 now, so, if once he gets around 4 or 5, he'll definitely feel a lot more confident with them. But here comes the Protoss army. He's not going to choose to go for the gold just yet. He's going the other way around. The Sonic Storms are on top of those Hydralisks. The Hydralisks are going to be dropping right here. All the Sonic Storms hitting, and there go all the Hydralisks practically. The Immortals are falling back, waiting for the force field to be used. Nothing used just yet, though. But here's the massive the Ultralisk right here, charging, and there's a 5 Ultralisk. However, no more units to follow up. Another Ultralisk coming in. Will they be able to do enough damage? Taking out some Stalkers. Here comes some Overlords. Of course, they're not going to do anything, but yeah, that was just too much of a spread right there for the Zerg player. He wasn't able to synergize enough. Those Stalkers, or the Ultralisk, came in just a little bit too late, unfortunately, and the Protoss army going to survive once again. We do have some Zerglings coming in the end. They are trying to pick off these Immortals, and they're going to get both of them. Very good picks right there, and the Protoss player still running. He's trying to save his units as much as possible. He does not have, or he does have some Sonic Storms, choosing not to use it, though, just on these little bit of Zerglings, and the Zerglings are going to get actually a couple of picks right there. They even got a High Templar, it looks like, so definitely a great play by the Zerg player right there, as he actually has picked up a Broodlord as well, so that's what I was talking about, getting some air units to kind of counter those mass Immortals and Zealots, but it doesn't counter the Stalkers, unfortunately, as we see right there. course, I have no clue how this unit works, so I don't think it is a counter because he's actually his attacks looks like they spawn ground unit. So much for that. So much for me trying to look smart there once again. Hey, I'm learning while casting. Yay! Alright, so we have, look at the Stalker play right here. He's just trying to go around the side. This Broodlord, though, continuing to cause the harassment. He's, Saki just trying to pick this Broodlord off, but the Broodlord just out of range so many times. He's keeping it microed once again, and keeping it just out of range. So neither one of these teams really going for the cutthroat. Both of these teams, they win team fights, and they both just fall back. I mean, it's happened several times now. And again, the Zerg army getting built back up. He has got a couple more Ultralisks. He's actually cut a... Well, those are Overseers. Those aren't a big deal. Here comes the Ultralisk, though. Might want to send those back, though. Or actually, no, he's going to keep them in front. They're taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of these Stalkers right here. But here come the Templars and all those Sonic Storms right on top of the drones, trying to finish those up. Didn't get a good chunk, though. And in the meantime, the Stalkers are all getting picked off. So those Ultralisks actually doing quite a bit of damage. We now have Infestors, by the way, on the Zerg side as well. Here comes some more Roaches, trying to pick up another Stalker. There goes the Sonic Storm, though, on top of the Roaches. And the Roaches drop right there. The Immortals, though, of course, the last one standing. They are Immortals, after all. But now they might be, they're again in pursuit right here. So this is just unbelievable how it's really just going about back and forth, back and forth. We have these Broodlings, now 3 Broodlings in total. They're just continuing to harass these Stalkers right here. They're actually going to get another kill. So look at these Broodlings just doing so much harassment. It looks like these Broodlings, by the way, they're kind of carriers, but for the ground, I think that makes sense. Yeah, need a lot of water for this cast. But, yeah, so the Broodlings really keeping up the harassment, and that's going to really slow down this gold farm, though. But, of course, the drone, they were kind of slowed down, was the Zerg side. However, not nearly as much. I was surprised at that. We have the Infestors coming in, but they're going to get picked off right here. 3 of them quickly getting picked off. A little bit unfortunate there. Another Ultralisk up, though. You see the upgrades on him. Here come the Zerglings to cause some harassment. And Sonic Storm right on top of him, trying to take them out. But here goes the Ultralisk trying to pick off a Stalker right here. He picks off one. He's going for another. He just has so much armor, but not against his Immortals. And the Immortals enough to take out that Ultralisk. So the Zerg player getting a little bit too feisty there with just the one Ultralisk, and just not a match for these Immortals, unfortunately. And now he has a couple of Archons as well, so the Protoss player Saki really advancing here. He's going to go to pick off this expansion, it looks like. And, well, I mean, there's not much going on at it, so... But it was just built, and he was building a couple of drones. However, that's not going to happen anymore, so, of course, a good pick right there. We see all these little minions coming out. Trying to maybe pick someone off. Actually, almost picking off a High Templar, it looks like, but he's going to be fine. More Dark Archons, or excuse me, not Dark Archons, Archons coming out, as we have 4 in total, it looks like, for the Protoss. So, again, you look at the unit builds and see what's going on. Let's look at something else. Units lost. Wow, 433. I guess that's Zerg for you. The armies. That's army value, I guess. So here comes the attack from the Protoss player. He's going to try to do something here on the gold units once again. We have a lot of Zerglings coming in, trying to pick out these Immortals. A Sonic Storm right on top, not getting any Immortal kills, and all the Zerglings just get disintegrated. There's a GG, and that's going to do it. So, wow, that kind of ended just abruptly right there. I wasn't expecting necessarily that, but, I mean, I guess I'm looking at the bases right now. Just the economy was out here for Mardo. He was really going for a last-ditch effort right there with the Zergling rush on those Immortals, but clearly it was not enough. So that's going to do it. Sake comes out on top, and he defeats his teammate again, Mardo. I'm no expert here, but it did seem like he had a decent chance to actually push earlier in the game, you know, when he had quite the army advantage, but chose not to. He chose to play it safe, get a gold expansion up, and in the end, it ended up costing him, obviously. So that's going to do it for this cast, though. Once again, I was breakycpk, your shoutcasting host. This was a StarCraft Cast 2. I think that's how it's pronounced, StarCraft2Cast.com presentation. And as always, stay tuned to Honcast.com for much more coverage of Heroes of New Earth. But anyways, so, yeah, that was fun. Late.